Yo, what's going on, my fellow sports fans? Anubis the Game Archer here with a brand new sport video for you guys today. Long time no see. Sorry I haven't been making sport videos. Been both under the weather and also doing some mental demons, but we feeling a little better. Still a little stuffed in the nose, but I couldn't help but want to make a video for the Packers. During the baseball season, I kept making videos about the Tigers and I did some pre-videos for the Pistons, and I just want to talk about the Packers a little bit. The first thing is, this is more of like a good news situation when it comes to Packers, but our boy, former Michigan player Rashan Gary, just got an extension, 4 years. I think it's 107 million. I think that was 107.5 million. I think was what Rashan Gary got. That's good news. Rashan Gary is arguably our best defensive player. So it's good to lock him down. Some people would say that he probably took less money, took a little hometown discount, and that just means he wants to be on the team. That still paid him more than Max Crosby. So if you want to be paid more than want to be the highest paid linebacker, he getting there. I don't know if that compares to what's his name, Myles Garrett. Let's actually look at Myles Garrett contract. Down on what he got as well. That'd be like he got 125, but he also got like an extra year compared to, and you guys can't see it, but anyways, what we want to talk about though is the Packers. The current state of the Packers. Right now, the Packers are the basement dwellers of the division. I think I'm not sure. I don't remember if the Bears have one win more than us or not. But basically, we're dog shit. We're third place in NFC North, so that the Bears are luckily worse. And a lot of the dialogue, and for those who don't know me, I'm not a biased person. I'm also very, very rational. And I think from a standpoint of both a fan, the front office, and from an analytical standpoint. So I'm very, well-mannered in my opinion when it comes to this thought process. So you won't see me just going like these little rants when it comes to like the team, and you make a lot of those stupid, fire everybody, blow it all up, get rid of this. That's not a rational thought process, and it also doesn't really solve anything. So the first thing you gotta solve is what the issue actually is with the team as it is right now. And the first thing that you point out is, obviously the injuries. The injuries are a massive thing, but also, there's some preventative measures that could have happened, with this season that didn't happen. And I feel like that's a failure in the front office, primarily Brian Gutekunst. So when it came to the Packers constructing their current roster, the offense was clearly lacking some veteran mentorship and veteran leadership. This offense is massively young, and that's also why you see a lot of pundits on, in sports media giving Packers an excuse where they're like, hey, it's a young team, they're going to have some struggles. When Aaron Rodgers is on Pat McAfee shows Packers, he says the same thing. It's a young team, had a lot of struggles. Fans don't care. That's kind of what it comes like fans. Fans could care less if it's a young team. Fans just want to win. Fans don't have a rational brain towards like, I can understand this and this. Fans are just like, we're losing games, it's all awful. But the reason why I'm pointing this out is there's ways to have a young team, but also make sure that the team can grow and be decent at the same time, and that's just having some kind of veteran presence. So when it comes to the Packers drafted 2 tight ends. Luke Musgrave, who a lot of people, including myself, are very high on. A lot of people think he's going to be a great tight end. He's been during the Vikings game, he got compared a lot to TJ Hawkinson, who's on the Vikings. There's Tucker Kraft as well. I think he's more of a blocking tight end than say like a receiving tight end like Musgrave is. But when you get these 2 young tight ends, who's there to mentor them? Who's there to guide them? You didn't re-sign Marcedes Lewis. A lot of people, both Aaron Rodgers, players on the team, a lot of players on the team openly say that they want Marcedes Lewis to be brought back on the team. So you did bring Marcedes Lewis back, and it's like, we could have used him. Like, you need it. What better way for Luke Musgrave to learn the NFL than from Marcedes Lewis? Like, that is an amazing player to be able to learn from. and we didn't bring him back. So not only would you have that veteran mentorship back, you also just have someone who could be, that safety blanket for Jordan Love, who has experience. You wouldn't be taking away from Musgrave, but allowing Mercedes to be in on third downs or whatever to be that safety net for this young quarterback who having his first year as a starter. Even though this is his third year in the league, it is still his first year as a starter. And I say this a lot when it comes to basically like the Ohio State quarterback situation, where it's like whenever Ohio State quarterback goes to the NFL, they do bad. And I always be like, they don't even have a good enough sampling size to even say they're bad. Like a lot of these quarterbacks, they get like a year and then they get released or they get benched. You have to give. Not everybody can jump to the NFL and have a great year out the gate. John Elway was not amazing his first season. I'm not saying Jordan Love's the next John Elway. A lot of people are like, oh, are you saying that he's the next Peyton Manning? No, I'm not. And Peyton Manning also had a fucking rough year. So a lot of y'all would have cut Peyton Manning his rookie year. A lot of y'all would have cut John Elway, who lined up underneath the wrong lineman his first year. So there are going to be, it's his third year. I can see someone going, it's his third year. It's his first year as a starter. And not only is his first year as a starter, he doesn't have veteran presence. His backup quarterback isn't a veteran. He doesn't have veteran receivers. The Packers receivers are all young. So it's like there should have been someone signed as a receiver. And this is anything against our current receivers, because current receivers all have talent. There's a dropping problem, but there's talent. But there should have been a veteran receiver. You should have went out and got D-Hop, potentially. Maybe you should have called in Julio Jones, who literally just got somebody Eagles like 2 weeks ago. You need to have a veteran receiver in there who can help these young guys out, but also just still be like Mercedes Lewis, still be that target, that a veteran, that a young QB can go to, who they can rely on. The issue with the Packers right now when it comes to receivers, outside of like just a lot of drops, because people are dropping the ball like crazy on this team. Even Aaron Jones, who doesn't usually drop the ball a lot, even he's had some crucial drops out of the backfield. But route running, the Packers receivers been doing very rough out route running, and I've been saying like, hey, maybe we should just go trade for Jerry Jeudy, because Jeudy, for those who actually watch his gameplay, watch his game film, is a very, very good route runner. And across the NFL, a lot of NFL scouts, a lot of the defensive coordinators, they all mention the same thing, that he might not be getting the ball a lot in Denver because their offense is kind of bad like ours is. But he's a great route runner, and that's lacking with the Packers. You're lacking these ability, seeing receivers who can break free and get separation. You're lacking these people who have that mental confidence as well as experience to be like, okay, this route isn't going to work out when it comes to this play. Let's get a little free. Do some free roaming around here and get open. Just find some way to get open so Love can have someone to throw the ball into. The Packers as a team, the offense is the big struggle. The defense does well for the most part. It's still the same bend don't break defense of Joe Barry. And yes, Joe Barry should have been fired in all season. But for the most part, if you look at every game, the defense does try its best. And, teams don't usually, pull away score-wise until the second half. Because, at that point, the defense kind of tired on the field a lot. The offense isn't doing anything. So it's like, something has to be done with this team. Aaron Jones isn't getting the ball enough. AJ Dillon's our leader rusher with only 266 yards. That's not great. We're what? We're 7 games in, and our running back is at 266 yards. This isn't good. The offense is the issue, and part of that issue is also in play calling. A lot of the Packers play calling has been pretty freaking rough. Like, it's just been rough. Like, you will see this. I'll use the Vikings game, and even the announcer pointed it out, where he was like, the Packers ran the ball, and they had a lot of success, moving down the field against the Vikings, and then he just stopped running the ball. And it's like, sometimes one of the things I've always learned, for those who don't know me, one of my father figures is a former NFL player who also is a football coach. One of the things he would always kind of point out is, even if your run game struggles, do not abandon the run. Like, just keep going. So let's say you run the ball on first down and you got 3 yards. That doesn't mean, okay, let's just throw the ball for the next, three freaking attempts. No, run the ball again. No, don't abandon the run. The Packers kept abandoning the run because the first one didn't work out, because someone had a drop. It's now they're like, all right, fuck it, let's just start slinging the ball. The play calling isn't here. And Love isn't a quarterback who can audible. Like, I'm pretty sure he has the ability. I don't think the ability. He has the vote of confidence from Matt LaFleur to be like, if you see something, sure, audible, but just stick to the game plan. And to that, like, a lot of people, when I see that, they're all pretty much just like, it's Love. Love's the problem. Is love this, love that, love. And the way they're pointing out is they'll point out his INTs. If you're actually watching the games, most of his picks are just dumb luck. Like, just not even like, oh, that's just a horrible throw. A lot of his picks have been tips. Like, literally, like, a lot of his picks have been tips. A lot of his picks have been, like, for example, in the Vikings game, he threw the ball. I don't remember who it was to. I don't know if it was Dobbs. Might have been Dobbs. But pretty much the receiver caught the ball, but it got yanked out of his hands by the Vikings DB. What was the linebacker? I think it was like Merciless. Let me look up. We're gonna pull it up. I'm not gonna pull up like the actual like game score or anything like that, but we're gonna pull up. I've got the player's name, but essentially what happened was Packers receiver caught the ball, and then the Vikings player just went nope. And that was it. That was the interception. Like, it wasn't even fun. Like, it was like a kind of like a bang situation where the receiver didn't have full. Sorry about if you can hear my sister. The receiver didn't have full possession of the ball, so it counts as an INT because it never touched the ground. So it's things like that where it's like, sure, you're gonna see the words "love" through interception. It's on the interception. He threw one pick in that game. It's like, oh, that's proof Love sucks. It's like, that's not really his fault. He can't control the fact that the receiver didn't get the ball and it got taken away to like be picked off. It was Josh Metellus. That's who it was.
3rd down and 8. As Love airs it out, looking for Reed. It's picked off.
I don't remember who the target was. I think it was Dobbs. Where like it hit him in the chest. It hit him right in the freaking chest. He had the ball. Like, it wasn't a possession. The NFL rules on what a catch is. And the Vikings DB Metellus just went nope, interception. And so it's plays like that happen where it's like, it's so Love is unlucky. Now that's not to say Love is, out of the woodwork from excuses, because he does have a habit, in my opinion, to make what I like to call hero plays, which is basically he just does things he doesn't need to do to try to be the hero. So you'll see him make throws where it's like, you didn't need to do that. Like I think it was Ben Kurt, who was a former Packers quarterback. He was pointed out too, where he was like, there was a play where Love throws a fade and he doesn't need to fade that way. Like, he didn't need to do that. And that's what Love does. He does these things with his body that kind of fucks up his throws that he doesn't need to do, but he's doing it because he's trying to be cute, or he's doing it because he's trying to be the hero. He's trying to live up to expectations. He's trying to live up to, you're following Aaron Rodgers, you're following Brett Favre, you're following 2 Hall of Famers. So he's trying to just overdo it. And if I was the Packers coaches on offense, I would tell Love, like, yo, play your style of football. Cut the noise. Stop trying to be cute. Just play ball. Play what got you drafted. If you got to stand in the pocket, sling the rock. Trust the running backs. Throw to the tight ends. If you need a check down, we'll make sure you get that. What do you need? What can we do to help you out? And let's just call plays and open the playbook. Aaron Rodgers, again, use him as an example. He talked about how Matt LaFleur has simplified the playbook for the young players. Stop simplifying the playbook. They're not going to learn to be NFL players if you're not letting them play NFL football. Call plays. The Packers in the first half is awful. The Packers are an awful first half team because of the play calling. It has to be better. So this video is getting pretty long, and I don't want to be too long, so we're going to just talk about what things that I would do if I was in charge of the Packers to try to fix the problem right now. So if you're the GM, you have to make a decision. And I use this exact same example when I talked about the Tigers. You have to make the choice before the trade deadline of, do we want to be a full rebuild, or do we want to make that step into being a playoff team? Because even though they're 2-5, the Packers could still like win out. They probably won't. They could win out and make the playoffs. What could lead to that happening? Do you want to make those changes? You could trade Preston Smith. It will suck because he's a good player. He's very close with Sean Gary, but you might need to trade him. Do you do that? Do you sell on him but also bring in players? I would trade for Jerry Jeudy. I would see if Denver will take a 3rd round pick for Jeudy. If not, I would try to see if they take a second. I think he's worth a second. Sorry, not sorry. And usually when it comes to 2nd round picks for Packers, where does that go anyways? To a receiver. We drafted Jalen Reed, as a receiver out of Michigan State in the 2nd round. So, we're gonna do it anyways. Like the Packers are the Packers. Chances are they're gonna draft a receiver in the draft. So might as well get Jerry Jeudy. If you can't get Jeudy, do you find someone else who's a good route runner in NFL and see if you can get them for a second or a 3rd? We do have an extra second because of the Aaron Rodgers trade. So, we have some flexibility when it comes to that. And hell, Rodgers might come back very, very, very quickly. So it might change that pick. But, you make changes. You do things that can help the team get better. The old line has been awful because they're injured, and it's insane. Well, maybe you should go out there and do a trade. If you want to get better on online, you should just go out there and trade for a tackle. Bakhtiari is done, and honestly, he might be done playing football, or maybe done playing for the Packers. You might just want to, I'm not saying trade Bakhtiari. No one's going to trade for an injured player. I'm just saying, at some point, you got to make decisions to move past certain players. I trade for Garrett Bowles. Again, we're going for the Broncos here. But he's seemingly available. And the Bowles, if you can't get Bowles, just like with Jeudy. If you can't get Jeudy, you see who is available, and you make that move. You make a call to Denver. Hey, we heard some rumors that you're putting Garrett Bowles on the trade block. What do y'all think when it comes to compensation? And you go from there. You might be able to swing Preston Smith to Denver for Garrett Bowles and a pick. I think Smith is a higher value than Bowles. So I would say if I was Packers, I would want to pick with Preston Smith when it comes to sending him to Denver for Bowles. But basically what I'm saying is you have to make a decision on if you're rebuilding or if you're trying to become a playoff team. If you want to be a team who can win the division and make the playoffs, you got to make a couple trades or 3 that push you towards that spot. Get your O-line better. Get a receiver who can run some good routes, who's also technically a veteran. Jeudy is not a first-year player. He has NFL experience. So you're getting some veteran presence in there. I would honestly say cut or trade DeGroyer. He's kind of just there. And get some O-line help, whether you get a trade or a signing. Now, on the flip side, if you're just like, look, this season's a wash, let's just wipe our hands clean and wait for next season. Then at that point, you're just doing a full rebuild and it's time to sell. And so you start selling some players who you don't really feel like are going to be part of the team next year and get some draft capital. That's just how it can be. When it comes to the front office, when it comes to the coaching staff at LaFleur, I don't want to just jump into he's awful and fire Matt LaFleur right now. But I do think certain things need to be mentioned when it comes to him and potentially when it comes to leading to a change. The first thing is you can't just fire coaches, without any plans. Who's available? If you fired Matt LaFleur today, who's going to replace him? Again, you're not about to call Jim Harbaugh right now and be like, hey, you want the Packers job? He's not going to leave Michigan in the middle of the season to go coach the Packers. You know, and if you wait to the end of the year, you know, again, who's available? Harbaugh might not freaking want the job to begin with, so he might want the Bears or the Chargers who might become available. Are you going to hire Brandon Staley? I think what you saw him do with the Chargers. So it's like you kind of got to like just be smart and also have like that, look into the crystal ball on what could be available for the Packers at coaches at the end of the season. But what I do want to talk about is, you know, when was the last time the Packers offense actually looked good? The last time the Packers offense looked good, Gutsy was on the team, and so was Hackett. When Hackett and Gutsy were working with the offense looked really good. So what that tells me is potentially what we need is not only a new offensive coordinator, but someone who's people who are working on the offense who can get this offense looking better and more modernized, and can also get some plays into the playbook that, you know, can stretch the field and, you know, get the defense on its toes. If it's predictable to play against you, if you're the one-dimensional team, you're never going to score points. You know, especially if, like, again, when you watch, because all these teams are watching tapes. So when they watch tapes on the Packers offense, they're seeing the exact same thing for all 7 of these games. They're going to run the ball once, then keep on the run, and then Love's going to throw some, you know, some deep balls and some you know, mid-range passes to Musgrave. And if you look at the statistics when it comes to our receivers, they're not even getting the ball. Like, we're not throwing the balls to receivers. Like, even in that clip I showed you again, it's not beginning of the video, but early in this video, you see Love is 11 for like 12 in a third quarter, and it's like that means we're not throwing the ball enough. Like, even when it comes to just, like, you know, incompletions, like we're not even trying to have a productive offense. And that's the issue here. The issue is we're not having a productive offense. Not even trying to have a productive offense. The Packers offense needs to be, you know, woken up. And you can't say it's just a Jordan Love when the play calls have to be there. He's a first-year starter, which means he's not calling his own plays, which means he's not doing audibles. Everything when it comes to the offense starts with the play calling, which is Matt LaFleur. Does it mean he's be fired? No. But if you are Brian Gutekunst and if you are Matt LaFleur, you're talking to each other like, hey, maybe we need to get, you know, another voice in here, because obviously the offensive coordinator isn't doing a good job, so maybe he needs to go. Get another voice in here, maybe get another QB coach in here, get some people on here, like an assistant who, you know, who's going to be helping with the offense. The offense is what needs to be solved, and after that, you will start to see, you know, some kind of growth and improvement. You know, bend don't break defenses work better when there's an offense that can put up points on the board. You know, if you're beating teams who are only getting 3 points, you know, then that's fine. You know, because again, the Packers have not even allowed a first half touchdown, a first drive touchdown, and since like week 1, I think, even not in the season. So it's like, you know, the defense bend don't break is awful, but, you know, it's getting, you know, the results of not allowing like a lot of scores, but the offense isn't, you know, putting up enough points to compensate for what the defense is trying to do, and that all starts with Matt LaFleur. You probably won't fire Joe Barry during the season, so not even going to say fire Joe Barry. You know, at this point, 7 games in for the Packers, you might as well hold on to him until the end of the season and be like, all right, well, now you can go. Because at this point, who's going to replace Joe Barry? You know, you're not going to go to college football and be like, hey, can we get this guy in the NFL, you know, week 7? Like, you're not going to call other teams, hey, can we talk to such and such in week 7? Like, no, at this point, now you got to wait till the end of the season, you know, to make that kind of change. When it comes to Brian Gutekunst, his ability during a trade deadline rate during this season, in my opinion, dictates if he should keep his job or not. If the Packers do nothing, he should be gone. If the Packers do literally nothing on a trade deadline, Gutekunst should be gone. Just what I think. But that's it for me. I'll talk to you guys, I don't know when, you know, these sport videos kind of come up whenever I have like something I want to talk about, but I'll talk to you guys when I talk to you guys. Y'all stay safe. Y'all be kind to another being boy, Anubis. I'll see you when I see you. Follow me on Twitch at Worship every Monday, Thursday. You know, on the East Coast, 3 p.m. to 7 o'clock. And then I have another YouTube channel where I post almost daily, which is a gaming channel. So once you play video games, do gaming reviews, follow me on my main channel. I'll catch you guys. Y'all stay safe. Because another boy Anubis. I'm out of here. Deuces.